Russian Redditors. How do you feel about what's happening in Ukraine right now? My brother is doing his military service. 20-year-old kids with no military experience who have no other choice but sleep in the forest and wait for commands. Families are told that they won't get any news for at least a week. Maybe even for a month. Fuck Putin. It's never the politicians or their children who are sent under the bullets. Fuck all those old fuckwards who bought their place in the government so hard. Or is rich old men protecting their property by sending middle-class and lower-class young men off to die. It always has been. George Carlin. Or is old men talking and young men dying. Roosevelt. Why don't presidents fight the war? Why do they always send the poor? Serge Tankian. I'm looking how people I didn't even vote for are destroying my future. My wife live in Kiev and I was planning to relocate to her in next couple of weeks. Now I don't even know if I'll see her ever again and I'm fucking scared. Jesus, I'm sorry you guys are going through this. Wish you the best. I teach English language. This quarter I have a young husband and wife in my class. In last week's writing assignment I asked everyone to write about a time they had to move. They have been here since September 2021. The husband wrote that they moved to the US because of the tensions between Ukraine and Russia. He said his religion forbids killing and if he stayed, he'd be forced to fight. He misses his mother. His wife wrote the same. I hope the couple is doing okay. Glad they got out of there before shit hit the fan. I am Russian. Living in Moscow right now this week is probably one of the worst that I have ever had in my life. My soul is draining when I see that face of my country, even though I purely hate him and a lot of other Russians does. But, however, TV propaganda works great for older people and due to that there he still has supporters. And yes, his lost election was 100% falsification, declares freaking war on Ukraine, nation, with which we have one of the strongest roots. Fuck war. Also, about people not trying to act against him. Believe me, a lot of us does. However, it's not that easy to start protest on 3 streets. Why? Several reasons. 1. Older generation is fully against it. So most teenagers that would like to protest won't come. 2. After your protest you can probably lose everything you have. I am serious. Work. University, they can just drop you, and etc. Also you can easily go to jail. For a long time. 3. Right now it is illegal to bring a lot of people together on the streets due to pandemic. So government can without a doubt and with a huge smile just arrest you. Or hit you. Lots of times. 4. And the last and the most important one. Putin don't gives a single fuck about protest. He just does not care. I am afraid of everything that happens. And totally against it. But the worst thing is, if we exclude lots of Ukrainian deaths. Just because I cannot even think about it. Because I just start to fucking cry after everything ends. Russian will be guilty for everything. Even so, most of them just want peace and war. No one cares we are guilty. And we will carry this burden for the rest of our life. Peace to everyone. If it makes you feel any better. These days everyone loves Germany and sees it as a completely different entity from that thing from the 1930s 40s. We're with you. As citizens and as humans. And we don't blame you one bit for anything that psychopath does. These days everyone loves Germany and sees it as a completely different entity from that thing from the 1930s 40s. To be fair, it was a massive process that started with being occupied and actually ceasing to be that country. So unless this whole deal sparks an internal revolution to overthrow Putin or Russia is actually occupied and forced to reform by external parties, I don't think it will or even should get the same treatment. I was born in Ukraine. Crimea, which is now part of Russia. Moved to the States at age 5, but I went back to visit every summer for 2 months. I have family there. My heart absolutely breaks for Ukraine. I'm appalled at Putin's actions and what is happening near Kiev at the moment. I spoke with my grandmother to make sure she's okay, even though she's Russian and she loves Putin because she's absolutely brainwashed and has no idea what is truly going on, which makes me extremely upset. She has been one of the closest family members who I adored and now I'm pretty upset with her and her views and opinions. We differ too much at this point. I just don't understand why this war is even happening. It's almost like Putin is throwing up a big huge fuck you just cause he can. Also, it's my birthday. So what a wonderful thing to have to witness on the news and stare at my screen in horror. I wish all the best to my fellow Ukrainians and I hope you all find safety. Don't wait. Pack your belongings. Important documents and medicines and of course essentials and hit the road. Refugees are being accepted in surrounding European countries. I'm not religious, but I will say that I would be praying for you in my heart. Good luck and stay safe. Edit. Thank you so much for the birthday wishes and my first ever little Reddit award. I really appreciate it. Brought a little smile to my face. I'll be staying in today and keeping up with the news, and I'll be rooting Ukraine. I'll take a shot for ya. Stay safe out there, everyone. Cheers. Happy birthday, man. Sucks what is happening in Ukraine at the moment. Hopefully this doesn't last too long and not too many lives are lost. Hope your grandmother is okay and that your birthday next year is better than this one. I have a Russian dad and a Ukrainian mom. It's very sad seeing Slavs killing Slavs. Also, the largest country in the world invading for more land. Lol, if they wanted money. They need to invest into their population so it could grow. That way they can exploit their vast empty country. Instead they choose to focus on temporary monetary gain by invading Ukrainian. Honestly, I don't know how to put it into words, it almost feels surreal. I am halfway across the world and it feels heavy. Other humans don't deserve to be treated that way, all because an egotistical, methodical, manipulating monster wants his way. Men are capable of such evil acts. I've never believed in a god, but I am praying to now tonight in thought of Ukraine and the Ukrainian people. Keep in mind that Russian people who are using Reddit hate Putin. Because we can speak English, we can see different side of the world. If you will open our Russian social networks, you will see the joy of the people, because for them Putin is destroying Ukrainian Nazi. Keep in mind they were brainwashed for 20 years to believe in everything they see on TV. All my friends are terrified by that. The Ukrainian people are the closest nation to us. Even closer, at the Belarusian. We got parents and friends there. Yesterday, I was joking with my buddies from Ukraine about the war, and what did I see today? I was defending Russia from all American memers for a month, and now I need to admit that we are aggressor. That is insane. I live 80 kilometers away from Kharkov. This morning windows were shaking. Jets flying. Some bombs hit our own houses, absolute disgrace from our army, incompetent fuckwits. A big part of my savings for getting a better job and moving countries is turning into toilet paper before my eyes. Undoing years of my work. Fuck this shit sideways. This powerlessness to change anything for the better is getting the best of me today. I'm tired of this deranged warlord claiming that I support him. Edit, wow, I didn't expect to get so much attention. I appreciate everyone's concern for our well-being. But I feel like my frustrations shouldn't get in the way of attention to those who need it the most right now, Ukrainians. Yes. I still hear the jets flying over my head. But things have calmed since the morning. Financial hardships are coming, and at the most inappropriate time for me and my family, but I believe we at least don't have to be afraid for losing our homes right now. Things are much darker on the other side of the border. How many people do you think support this act? A quarter, half, all? I genuinely cannot understand how much support has Putin from his own citizens. There is no way to measure. Any poll done around here is unreliable. I wouldn't be surprised if at least half are supporting. My own perspective is also skewed. Because I live on the border with Ukraine, which accounts for a minority of the population of the country. I think people who were woken up today by artillery fire are less enthusiastic than the ones who only read the news from afar. Just a reminder that last year Putin won a Russian's Hottest Man award. If he is cheating in these polls, he's cheating in every poll. I am morally destroyed. I cannot work. I am shaking. I do not know what to do. I have nowhere to run from this. I have no means to stop this. I fear for my mother, for my friends. For their children. Our future is irreparably broken. Deeply shocked and terrified. I don't know a single real person who supports it. Every person I've spoken with is in a pure state of horror. Until the last moment we couldn't believe that this would actually happen and they would do this, and we are horrified as we have no idea what will happen next to both countries. It's already hard to live with the realization that your country is a world enemy, and it makes it even harder considering that we are talking about Ukraine and Ukrainians, as we never wanted to fight with them and still don't want to. I have already commented on another post, so just copying it here as a Russian citizen. I have never been more embarrassed of my country and its leaders. The war for nothing. Just because this old balding douchebag has gone off the rails. I hope this war will at least open the eyes of more Russians on who he really is. This motherfucker needs to be pressured both from the outside and from the inside of the country. We say that Russian government is to blame, not people. But it's our fault too. We failed to get him out. We tried but we failed. All the protests that were happening because of stolen elections didn't change a thing. But I hope with more people realizing there will be more and more protests with more people. This scumbag must live every second of his pathetic life being terrified of being captured and held accountable. And I want to see him be. I think your oligarchs are at fault too. But America has its oligarchs too. So it's not like I can judge one nation's people to mine. I just hope one day we can cross paths and be like you're Russian and you be like you're American. Oh my god, let's exchange cultural values and take shots of vodka until we fuck a barrel now. We are sorry for that. 90% don't want a war. What's happening now is a tragedy. We didn't elected our officials and now they give their own opinion as the opinion of the people. We understand how much problems we will get because of VVP. Especially economic. We had the highest inflation ever since 1990s. After today's actions our life will be worse. People are poorer and the whole world will be against us. We thought that there won't be any real invasion or military conflict. But today the seal is broken. We know that VVP's plane left Moscow about 11 p.m. We don't know what will happen next. Just want you, especially Ukrainians, to know that we are sorry for your losses. We don't want war. Nobody wanted. I saw videos from Telegram. It's frightening. Nobody wish you troubles and deaths because of ambitions of our president. All I know from social media is that Ukraine army doesn't react to Russian military. They are not counterattacking them. We know that civilians get injured. Some of them are dead. We saw how our army destroyed civil house. That terrible. Shame to all who are participating and promoting this conflict. I am ready to go to the metro or bunker. My documents are ready. I am afraid too. Because Western world should answer. Wish you luck and health. We are humans for the first. Not citizens. In Russia we want peace. Not war possibly, today is gonna be a protest. But it won't end good. We are afraid to participate in it and it won't lead to changes. We are hostages too. Shocked, angry, ashamed. But mostly fucking terrified. I've been crying all morning. Putin doesn't speak for our nation, we didn't elect him, it was all staged. I don't want war. I don't know anyone who wants war. I've got family in Ukraine, lots of us do, and it's excruciating to read all the news. We try to organize protests, but it's hard since this fucking usurper got most of our Protestants to rot in jail. But we try. It is scary to go cause all the protests end the same way with no results. But I feel that it is important to go and at least try to make a change. We want peace. There's literally no reason to start a war ever. This is not my president. He is a killer and he must be held accountable for his crimes.